Hello, friends. If you saw the recent appearance of Alex Jones on the Joe Rogan podcast, you may have noticed what I noticed, which was that they were hitting some very strong points, making a lot of sense on some of the same things that you hear about a good bit on so-called truther channels, and then as if on cue, they started talking about NASA, and it's just such an obvious case of giving a certain percentage of truth and then a certain percentage of the controlled stuff or whatever that they have to pay homage to their masters by participating in and acting like they believe in that. What I wanted to make a point of here is that a year or so ago, the first leg of the stool was broken when Alex said that conspiracy theories cause a mental condition like I don't remember if it was, but anyway, it was equating, being into what the mainstream is not into. It equated that with a mental illness. And so, what I believe is that he is completely an actor, and that all of these types of things are they're all prearranged and planned out, which a lot of the time that doesn't even matter. I mean, the way it affects reality, like with the election, I tend to think that it is, pretty much it's all by design, and the clusterfuck is what the goal is. So anyway, on this recent appearance on Joe Rogan, he was saying that he's going to call it quits within a year, and Joe was saying that he would like to help Alex get in shape, and Alex is certainly not in shape. That part is not an act, but he was saying that he's going to, or that he's basically given up on diet and doing anything about his size and all that goes with that. And then he was also, so we got the mental health leg of the stool, is that's one of the legs. Physical health is the other, is another one of the legs, and he's claiming that he's given up on that. And then I guess the other one would be addiction. because he's also said that he's tried to conquer drinking, and he's more or less given up on that. That's what he said on the recent Joe Rogan podcast, and I've started to get back more into things like that. But the point is that it's been years since I really, paid much attention to him or watched him for like any particular length of time. But so there's this thing with him kind of bowing out and claiming these things that I just mentioned, and then in the Borat movie, subsequent movie film, which is, he's definitely mean-spirited with these people, and I felt bad for the Republican women, and I can't really say I felt bad for Giuliani. But the point is that he makes, I can't remember if there was a flat earth jab, but there was stuff about, how basically putting people in the corner who question the Holocaust being what it's presented as, with his daughter and talking about how much truth she's found on Facebook. And while I'm not into the whole QAnon thing, that's been at least one another mainstream thing recently that has gone out of its way to make fun of the whole QAnon thing, which there's some valid points in there. Sorry, I had to look at a text about whether I was going to be off tomorrow or not in a ride to work. So there was the stuff in the Brat movie was painting more or less certain segments or part of the truth community into like making fun of the whole truth thing in a way. And it just seemed like it was worth mentioning that how you get kind of thrown under the bus. Sometimes I wonder if YouTube was, if one of the reasons it was created was for the so-called truth thing, and for them to monitor what has been in some cases reverse engineered and understood, and then how to marginalize people. But then I'm also reminded about the expression or saying that I mentioned before. Well, actually, I didn't mention it, but I was trying to one time when I talked about a class I was in one time about to do with social service and whatnot. But what I meant to mention that time was that the teacher had this quote about, it's unknown who the quote is from, but it says, "When you label me, you disable me." And so I have thought about that from time to time as it could apply to truthers and truth. And I've been going through a metamorphosis, as I've mentioned, kind of about the whole, well, just needing to spend my time, doing other things than this quest for, God damn it. Okay, sorry. The quest for truth and in some ways is like a rat or mouse going after cheese. And you keep thinking that this one that you're going to get, that you're right there at the you're right there at the cheese, but you just can't quite get to it. And it's not that the quest and the desire is in vain, but it's that the system is so not broken. It was built that way, but it's so demonic and such a octopus of despair and fake this and false that and imaginary money and all of these things that we learned that there's even as the police said, the police said, there is no there's no something solution, spirits in a material world, but the point is that, again, it comes back to what am I doing today to stand in my truth and honor. And I don't mean, by saying my truth, I don't mean that there's I mean, what's true is true. It's not, I don't mean like a situation ethics, moral relativism type thing, but it's just this whole thing again of the only person you can change is yourself, and morality is who you are when no one else is looking, and by continually being the change that we want to see in the world, that's where the changes are going to come from. It's not about protesting and movements and voting or any of that.